New vehicles now have something known as event data recorders. And what these recorders do is basically keep track of everything you do when you're behind the wheel. So they pay attention to or record your brake application, steering, speed at the time of impact if you get into a car accident, and basically anything that you could possibly do in your car, this device records.
Now, is it something you buy or is it already installed in your car?
It's already installed in your car. So if you're
whether you want to or not?
Yes, and at this point, about 80% of all vehicles have this device in the car.
So if later you get into an accident, your insurance company, for example,
yes,
could take it and be like, haha, we were spying on you all along with something that we put in your car that most of you don't even recognize is there.
Yes.
And whether it's actually right or not, at least we can build a case. We can say, well, it showed that at some point you were going 48. Now, does it show you all the conditions why you were going 48? No. But haha, we have evidence against you because your car was spying on you.
Right, absolutely. And another thing is that these boxes, and by the way, they're compared to black boxes in airplanes. Another thing is that in a lot of cases, they're not accurate, right? Because just because a computer has recorded this data doesn't mean the data is right. So right now, certain courts in different states are trying to figure out whether or not they can even rely on this evidence. But the shocking information here is that a lot of courts do rely on the evidence, right? And it's scary to know that your own car is collecting this information on you, and most people have no idea about it.
We talk about it all the time, man. Big Brother, in 128 different ways. There's cameras everywhere. Everything is being recorded. Your own machines will be used against you. I mean, if you're ever on the run, right or wrong, right, you better ditch that phone, man, because that phone's tracking you. And you know what else? Your getaway car, it might also be tracking you, right? Everything is tracking you. George Orwell was a genius. We should build a statue of him in every city.
Well, it's understandable, but you know, if you don't speed, if you don't slam on your brakes, if you don't talk on your cell phone, and if you do things right while you're driving your car, what do you have to worry about?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. And look, if you don't jaywalk, then you don't have any problem with the cops, right? Mm-hmm. If you never break any of the laws, then you don't have an issue. If you never pick your nose, well, then you won't get caught picking your nose, will you? Mm-hmm. Okay? So why don't you stop being a dirty person and follow every single rule and regulation in the world? And if you ever break the rules, well, haha, too bad. You deserve to be spied on.
This is very related to the Supreme Court case right now. The issue is whether the cops can put a surveillance device, a GPS device on your car without a warrant. It's a big issue right now.
Mm-hmm. I don't even understand.
There's a big fight about that.
I don't even understand why that's an issue.
Where's the question? And I'm sure that we'll lose on it. But where's the question? Of course it's tracking your car. Of course you should need a warrant. That means that they should just come in, they can come in and track all of our cars if the Supreme Court rules that.
The argument by the cops is that, well, they don't need a warrant to just follow you everywhere you go. But rather than using manpower to follow you wherever you go, they just put a little GPS device on your car.
Yeah, you know what?
And the counter argument is, well, look, that's a totally different thing because now you're trespassing on my car. I mean, you are putting your stuff on my car.
That's private property.
Which is a private property, so that's a trespass right there. And secondly, if you do this, you can effectively monitor every single human being, and that's tantamount to a general warrant, which is what this country was based on not having. They need to have a specific warrant for a particular cause by an independent magistrate.
It's not even close. It's not remotely close. Like, well, look, we know that you're going into your house, so we had infrared cameras to watch you and your wife having sex. What? We knew you were in your house, so good enough. I mean, look, I don't know if that analogy is stretching it, but you think that's not next? Mm-hmm. And by the way, there have been questions about can they use a helicopter to spy in on your backyard and look through your windows like a perv and okay, et cetera, et cetera. What? I was just going by your house and I happened to see you. So no, of course you shouldn't be able to track all our cars, but
we know what the outcome of that case is going to be.
Look,
we know.
wolf-pack.com. No, I'm serious. Until you solve the central issue, we're going to lose on all this stuff. I mean, look. All right, real quick story, okay? Just watched J. Edgar, the movie about J. Edgar Hoover, starring Leonardo DiCaprio. Every emergency is used to accrue power for the government, okay? Now, all the conservatives should agree with us on this. This is their central theme, right? So Lindbergh baby gets kidnapped. J. Edgar Hoover's like, excellent. I'm going to use this, which the whole country is outraged about. to get the powers that I needed for my Federal Bureau of Investigations, so we can carry guns, so we can do arrests, et cetera, and the power of the government grows, okay? And as I was watching, I'm like, it's like 9/11 all over again. Oh my God, emergency, crisis, the whole country is in a panic, they're in fear over it. Perfect opportunity, Department of Homeland Security, the government grows.
Yeah, let's take
Patriot
advantage
Act,
of
the
it.
government grows, right? Oh my God, there's terrorists, there's this, there's that. Oh, we got to track all your cars. The government grows. National security letters. Oh, I'm just going to, FBI now writes a letter, no warrant needed. They can track everything you want, business records, medical records. There was an emergency. The government grows. The government grows, okay? Every conservative should be on our side on this, you know?
Yes.
And Steve's right. The whole point of the country was, don't have this giant government that spies in on its own citizens. That all the rights are reserved for the citizens, and the government has a very few set of things that they can do. It's not a liberal thing, it's not a conservative thing, it's not a libertarian thing. We should all agree to that. But even if we do, it doesn't matter, we lose. Because our government continues to grow and intrude into every part of our life. Look, you know, progressives believe in government for a specific purpose, right? So I want to fund the cops. I don't want to have a situation like Newark or Camden. I'm sorry we had to give tax cuts for the rich in Rumson and Deal in New Jersey, so we didn't have money left for your cops in Camden and Newark. That's crazy, okay? You got to fund the firefighters, et cetera. But we don't want big government for the sake of big government, okay? In fact, we don't like big government intruding into our lives, whether it's between a woman and her doctor, okay, or whether it's they're tracking every one of our cars.